Now that I was at the correct coordinates, I emptied my pockets and prepared a way down to the end portal itself. After searching the stronghold for valuables, checking my inventory again, and making sure my spawn was set at the surface, I was ready to do what I had never done before in legitimate survival: go to the end to defeat Minecraft's boss. Or at least as ready as I was ever going to be. I thought the fight was unusually quiet, but I didn't realize until after the fact that it was because I had turned hostile mob sounds all the way down. One of my friends had earlier shown me something in creative mode using shulkers, and I forgot to change my sound afterwards. I traveled how many blocks to do this just to have the sound turned down. If that isn't a perfect summation of how things usually work out for me, I don't know what is. After watching all of the credits, I returned to the end. I still needed to get what I had traveled all this way for: shulker boxes and end rods. Once I was on the other side of the gateway, I pillared up and cranked my render distance up to the highest value I could at the time. After using a spyglass to examine the outer reaches of my render distance, the nearest end city finally loaded in, so I returned safely to the ground and made my way towards the city. Finally, I would be able to get shulker boxes. They were necessary to pick up all of the treasure I found in the end cities, and I definitely need them when I picked up all the maps I made on my journey. Knowing myself as I do, I was concerned that, when I went in another direction to look for more cities, I would get confused and not realize I had already been to this one. I figured the best way to make sure I didn't was to tear it down completely. Besides, I would need blocks for making the map wall, and what materials would be more fitting for my journey to the end than materials from the end? However, I don't think I really understood just how long tearing down an entire city would take. I did find some diamonds to make more diamond pickaxes, as well as more pickaxes, but it still took me at least 4 hours to tear down the first end city. I know I'm not the fastest or most efficient though, so I'm sure plenty of people could have accomplished that in less time. I wanted to build something in its place, so that if I ever came back, I would at least know where the first end city had been. It wasn't great, but it would do until I could be bothered to make something more elaborate. After all, the end portal is still very far from spawn, so it's not like I'd have to see this often. With that done, it was time to head towards the second city. However, since all of my pickaxes were running low, I decided to head towards the third city after finding whatever treasure I could. However, I forgot that I had taken off my armor while trying to mend my pickaxes, so when I shot a shulker at the wrong time, this happened. To say I panicked would be an understatement. Fortunately, after reviewing the previous recording to get the coordinates, I was able to get back to the third city in time and reclaim my stuff. If nothing else, I learned the importance of using a sword instead of a bow. I did find more cities, but I was starting to get a little bored. Also, as a peaceful mode player, I think I now understand why everyone finds the end so scary. I remember people saying that they thought the Nether was scary, even in peaceful. I mean, sure, everything is on fire and red, and if you fall into the lava sea, you can say goodbye to all of your stuff, but I wouldn't call that scary. Or maybe I just like fire more than the average person should. Regardless, that is not how I feel about the peaceful mode end. To clarify, I'm not talking about the fight with the dragon being scary. It's an event that happens exactly once, since there's no way to bring it back in peaceful, and you can take as long as you want to prepare. That's fine. And I'm not talking about the shulkers. Granted, I turned the hostile mob sound down just because they were getting on my nerves, but since they can't give you the levitation effect in peaceful, there's no real risk of harm from them either. I'm also not even talking about the endless void at the bottom of the end that kills you. It's effectively a step up from the lava sea in the nether. While your netherite gear could survive the lava, it's not going to survive the void. So it's the same degree of severity as the pre-1.16 nether. But then there's the music. Now don't get me wrong, the song The End is very cool, and does a great job of tying in so many of the other songs we hear throughout the game, but it's also, for lack of a better word, unnerving. I only started playing this game in 2016, so I'm sure that people have already written some really great analyses, so I won't try to rehash all the things that make this song so interesting. I will say that a lot of the song gave me a sense of dread, but I also felt a sense of relief at around 9 minutes and 50 seconds into the song when the loud screeching stops. And that sense of dread really didn't return for the remainder of the song. Incidentally, the new song Ancestry that was added as a part of the Caves and Cliffs update reminds me of the end. I'm not sure if it's just because both songs feature distorted noises and sometimes constant background ringing, or if it's something more significant. I don't want to go looking for lore where there isn't any, but I really feel like that title Ancestry could be a clue. Or maybe it's a red herring because there are so many people trying to unravel the lore of the Minecraft world. Feel free to leave your opinion on whether there is a connection between those two songs in the comments below. I'm ashamed to admit how long it took me to realize that I could just waterlog the slabs on my way up to the chests instead of mining a staircase up the walls of the treasure rooms. It's a lot safer, too. Anyway, I was ready to get out of the end, so I used the gateway to return to the main island, collected the egg, and used the exit portal to return to the overworld. But then I didn't play in this world for about a month. I can't remember exactly why, especially since 1.18 didn't come out until the 30th. It could have had something to do with the fact that I released those 2 seed videos in November, and those were different from what I usually do. I think I was also worried about making part of the trip in 1.17 and then needing to upgrade to 1.18 in the middle. In retrospect, I probably could have made it back to spawn before the update. Things might have gone better if I had done so, but that is a story for another day. Until next time, take care.